Blood vessels are the transport system for the blood from the heart to the rest of the body and back again. It's important to know how this works, so when we then know how to manage bleeding and understand how shock affects the body. Blood vessels are divided into different categories because of the shape and function. It's important to remember that they are linked in a continuous loop. One type of blood vessel will gradually be split or linked to form another type of blood vessel. There are broadly three types of vessels that differ in construction and size according to their function and position in the body. These are arteries, capillaries and veins. These blood vessels are responsible for transporting blood to and from the heart and therefore delivering nutrients to and from the body's tissues. Arteries are muscular tubes with thick walls which can contract like muscles to squeeze blood along the pathways away from the heart. The large artery that leaves the left ventricle of the heart is called the aorta. This divides and subdivides, gradually becoming arterioles. The smooth muscle tissue that surrounds the artery and arteriole walls is thicker and more powerful than the surrounding walls of veins. As blood is ejected powerfully from the heart, the arterial walls are required to stretch passively to receive the blood under high pressure and then immediately contract as in a recoil action to assist in propelling the blood further down the line of the body. Unlike the veins, there are no valves in the arteries other than those at the exit points of the ventricles to prevent backflow. Arteries and arterioles predominantly carry oxygenated blood around the body. The exception to this rule is the pulmonary arteries and arterioles, which carry deoxygenated blood to the lungs to be reoxygenated. Arteries branch into smaller arterioles and then become smaller and thinner until they're described as capillaries. These capillaries have extremely thin walls, approximately 1 cell thick, and spread to all parts of the body, even to the smallest area of the tissue. As the walls of these blood vessels are so thin, they allow diffusion of nutrients and gases through the walls and into the tissue cells. Food and oxygen passes through these walls from the blood and into the individual tissue cells to be used. Likewise, the waste products such as carbon dioxide and lactic acid are passed back into the blood to be carried away and excreted. Blood flows through the capillary bed slowly to allow for this exchange to take place. There are a greater number of capillaries than any other type of blood vessel. Once the capillaries have passed by the tissue, be it muscle or alveoli, they gradually link to form progressively larger blood vessels called venules. These venules are then eventually become into veins. Veins have thinner walls in comparison to arteries with less ability to contract, which carries blood from the tissues back towards the heart. The smooth muscle in the walls contract automatically in a wave-like action to assist the returning blood flow. Veins and venules predominantly carry deoxygenated blood, which is therefore high in carbon dioxide. The exception to this rule is the pulmonary vein and venules, which are carrying oxygenated blood from the lungs back to the heart. The flow back to the heart is called venous return. Unlike arteries, veins carry blood under low pressure, which makes it harder for the blood to flow. All veins therefore have a series of one-way valves that work against gravity to prevent backflow of blood as it passes back towards the heart. This will also help prevent the blood going the wrong way and pooling of blood in veins. There are contributing factors that assist with venous return, and they are gravity. This will assist in the return of blood anywhere above the heart, such as the head and shoulders. Non-return valves in the veins prevent backflow of blood and are one of the biggest factors in assisting venous return. The diaphragm is a large dome-shaped muscle used in respiration, which produces a suction effect on the veins below the heart's right atrium to suck the blood back. And finally, skeletal muscle contraction is where the veins are assisted by squeezing action of nearby skeletal muscles. Blood circulation is a closed system in which the pressure varies constantly. Long periods of inactivity can slow the blood from the lower legs, which can result in blood pooling. This pooling could produce a blood clot or deep vein thrombosis, DVT, blocking the blood vessels.